Imagine a group of 10 people who are trying to accomplish a goal. If each person did the same amount of work, each would do 10%. In reality, does it seem that people accomplish the same amount, or do some people make a bigger difference than others? Obviously, people accomplish more than others. What our top 20 lessons are all about is awakening a tremendous power in you to make big positive differences in your life, in your experiences, and in your relationships. Lesson 1, Top 20 TLC Objectives. To see potential, we have to develop top 20 behaviors and attitudes. To define, assess, and commit to improving star qualities. To consider our willingness to learn and apply top 20 tools and strategies. To understand the meaning of top 20 and bottom 80 and their connection to thinking, learning, and communicating. One of the objectives for today's lesson is to become aware of the potential you have. What does it mean when someone says that you have potential? In our top 20 lessons, we will define potential as a power within us that waits and waits and waits to get activated so it can come through us to make a positive difference in our lives, relationships, and experiences. Look at the potential graph on your handout. For any group or individual, one of three things happens regarding their potential. Stage 1 people or groups develop far less than their potential than they actually have, whether in their school life or work life, their experiences or relationships. They don't get much of what they would like to be getting. They have potential, but it's not developing. Stage 2 people develop an average amount of their potential. For the most part, they're doing okay. We'll call the stage 1 and stage 2 groups the bottom 80. But some people achieve far more than you would normally expect. People in stage 3 get a great deal out of their school or their relationships. They are the big difference makers. We'll call this group the top 20. Take a moment to discuss this question. Why do some people develop their potential to a higher level than others? Each person has a personal toolbox. The purpose of these lessons is to help you become more aware of the TLC tools in your box and how to use them in a top 20 way to create something wonderful. The most important thing to know is that you have the potential to be a top 20. You have been wired to TLC as a top 20, to think, learn, and communicate effectively. You already have everything you need. The purpose of this lesson is to help you become aware of the potential you have to eliminate roadblocks like self-doubt and false beliefs that hold you back from becoming a top 20. Top 20 TLC will help you discover the power within you and how to use it to make a positive difference in your life and the lives of others. Use this class to develop better T, thinking, better L, learning, and better C, communicating tools and strategies. As you do, you will become better at being you. The other thing you need to know is that Top 20 is not an exclusive club or limited to a certain number of members. The best way to think about this is to realize that there is a top 20 and a bottom 80 in each of us. We each have these two dimensions: times when we are top 20, when we TLC effectively, and times when we are bottom 80, when we TLC ineffectively. The purpose of these lessons is to awaken and strengthen the part of you that is a top 20 so that you can more often be the best version of yourself. Let's review on your handout the 5 things to remember about being a top 20. Take a moment to pause the video and review the handout. Sometimes we feel that our toolbox is empty and that we are not able to make anything meaningful happen in our lives. But because you are wired to be a top 20, your toolbox is already full with the tools you need. Top 20 understand that purpose of these tools is to empower you to develop star qualities. Star qualities are personal strengths that you transform your character for the better and express themselves in your experiences and relationships. They are what powers you to become and create all you are capable of. They help your potential explode in the present to create a wonderful future. There are many star qualities. Let's look at a few of them listed on your handout. Take a moment and look at the. Some of these you already possess to a large degree. Others you may not have developed in you yet. On the star quality chart, indicate the level to which you have developed each of these star qualities by darkening the column to that level. Look at the star qualities list and select three that you would most like to further develop. Write those in your handout. Pause the video to take a moment to do this. The opposite of star qualities is negative mental habits. Look at the negative mental habits on your handout. Indicate the level to which they are present in you. Darken the box to indicate that. From the negative mental habits listed on the handout slide, select three that you would most like to lower. Write these on your. One of the goals of our top 20 lessons is to increase our star qualities and decrease our negative mental habits. We need to realize that when one goes up, the other goes down. Thousands of students have used TLC tools and strategies and made a huge difference in their lives, experiences, and relationships. They just didn't do the top 20 lessons, they were engaged. Engaged means that they were willing to use the TLC tools in their toolbox. Look at Nick's quote on your handout. Take a moment to look at that. Willingness is like these jars. The lid on this jar is screwed on tight. As I try to pour water on it, none of the water ends up in the jar. The lid is completely off the second jar, and as I pour the water, the jar gets filled. So, how willing are you to develop TLC tools in these lessons? Assess your willingness on your handout by circling whether your lid is tight, totally off, or somewhere in between. Like Nick, where it is in a few weeks might be different. What our top 20 lessons are offering you is the opportunity to experiment with truth. Top 20 is making two promises. One, TLC tools will help you develop star qualities. And two, if you use these TLC tools consistently, you will create a better experience for yourself and others. If you're willing to engage in this experiment for the next several months, you'll discover something very important. Either these top 20 promises are true and you will have something powerful for the rest of your life, or they're not true and you can go back to the old ways of living. You have nothing to lose, but possibly a lot to gain. What are your takeaways from today's class?